off balance, hanging from the top, turning it back under that ladder. Jeff moving the ladder underneath him. From Bubba Ray Dudley. On the edge. Oh my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
Welcome, boys and girls, to the TLC Preview. This is Mike. I'm joined by my buddy Walk. As always, Walk, how you doing?
Mike, it's TLP, previewing TLC. I think it's safe to say I'm doing pretty damn well right now.
What do you think about that preview? WrestleMania 17, the reason why we have this pay-per-view. One of the original TLC matches, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. Man, just thinking back to those matches, I can't believe a few matches can stem a whole pay-per-view.
I think that it's worth noting that TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17, the one that we played for y'all here as our little intro, I think that's the better one of the two originals. And I think that it is. I think you're right, though. It is very, very. How good do you have to be to make a match stipulation turn into an entire pay-per-view? And I guess the question is, that's how good you have to be. Or that's the answer. That's how good you have to be. So,
I'm not a big fan of the match stipulation things being a pay-per-view, but this is one of the great match types in WWE. TLC, Hell in a Cell, yeah, Last Man Standings, Iron Mans. That's all the best. I mean, obviously, you got those are the greatest.
I'll agree with you on that. I'm not a big fan of having match stipulations be, thrown in like as entire name brand pay-per-views. Like, say if they, like Hell in a Cell or TLC or like Money in the Bank or something like that. But at the same time, I love stipulation matches. Like, again, we have a tables match in this pay-per-view. Love it. Love tables matches. It's been too long since I've seen a good tables match, and I'm hyped for this one. So, I mean, yeah, that being said, I love them. I really do.
I think the only two stipulation matches for pay-per-views you need, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. Other than that, just add your matches in when you can. Make it a little exciting.
I agree with that.
It'll create some more excitement. Make it a little different. Anyway.
I think the Royal Rumble's a little unique in Money in the Bank. Well, not necessarily Money in the Bank, but I think the Royal Rumble is very unique in that it's like one of the four main ones, and it's a match stipulation that it's like actually an event as more than just a match between like two or three superstars. So that one I can kind of understand why you would need an entire pay-per-view for that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Royal Rumble definitely needs it. Money in the Bank, I think, needs it. I think Money in the Bank should be a major 5. It may replace Survivor Series in the future. Who knows? But let's get on to TLC. Let's talk about this pay-per-view. Pretty good card, honestly. It's the start. It's the road to... Not the road to WrestleMania. The road to Royal Rumble. And I want you to start it off. Let's talk about the first few matches.
All right, well, first we're going to go with one that's probably going to be on the kickoff show. The Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match that I was alluding to earlier. I just want to say I miss tables matches so much. I'm glad they're bringing this back. I don't know how much like potential this whole match has. Obviously, Natalya, one of the great ones. Ruby Riott really coming into her own. The potential. Well, I should say that the potential that I think this match has is there, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as I want it to be.
I wish they would have more time to develop this rivalry. I guess they have had a little bit, but I feel like they could have developed a little more. This could have been one of the bigger rivalries. And I'm a big fan of like this rivalry. I like what the Riott Squad does. I think Natalya's done very well to sell everything to the Riott Squad. If I had to predict, are we doing predictions here, or we just want to talk about matches?
We just talk about it. We'll publish the predictions on Sunday morning before the match.
I'm going to make a prediction for this one, I guess.
Okay.
I want to make a prediction. I want to predict that Natalya's going to win this because she hasn't got over on the Riott Squad, and it feels like a while. The Riott Squad have been dealing the punishment, and I feel like they're going to give the face the triumphant win the triumphant victory here. I like what the Riot Squad. I really love what Ruby Riot's been doing, and I think that squad's been getting a very big push, in which they need, and I really want them to do something going forward.
Yeah, that's kind of why I think the Riot Squad wins. Number one, because there's 3 of them, and everyone knows that Ronda Rousey's a terrible friend and is not going to come help her friend Natalya, even though Natalya helps Ronda Rousey all the time. But that's neither here nor there. I think that the 3-on-1 advantage is going to take place for Ruby Riot, and Natalya's going to end up getting put through a table. And I hope it kind of moves Ruby Riot on along the line a little bit, so to speak, of places that she will go to in the hierarchy of this pecking order. I do agree with you, though, that I think this feud could have been much, much better built up to. Because right now, the only thing this feud that I really understand is that Natalya snapped some glasses that apparently belong to the Anvil, and I don't really know how they expect me to believe that he only had one pair of glasses throughout his entire fucking career. So I'm kind of a little perplexed by that part. But hey, I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, Ruby Riot snapped the Natalya's glasses, which started the thing, started the whole rivalry. I like the Riot Squad always beating her ass, coming out of nowhere. I like that. They haven't gotten enough time to develop the rivalry. But hey, I'm excited for it. I like the Riot Squad a lot, actually. Riot Squad is one of my favorites in the WWE right now. They're low-key one of my favorites, and I really hope they have a good night here at TLC. I kind of hope they make the main card, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think it'll make the main card either. I think the only chance it does have making the main card is that it's a tables match. But I think that's the reason they would actually put it on the pre-show, is so that they have a stipulation match on the pre-show. But, oh well. I'm excited to see it anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, I am excited. That would be a really good pre-show card match. Anyway, let's get on to the next match. Lead us on our journey here. Walk, what's our next match?
Our next match is the songbird of our generation. And no, I'm not talking about Aiden English. I'm talking Elias versus the man that smells like money, Bobby Lashley. And I'm gonna come out and say it, Mike. If Elias doesn't win, I'm gonna riot. There's no way that he should lose this.
Do you think he actually wins?
No, but I really, really, really want him to.
I don't know if I think Elias is gonna win. I don't know if Bobby Lashley's gonna win. Honestly, I don't see either of them being hurt by who wins or loses.
I agree with you, but I think that because of I don't like the reason I think that. I don't think either of them gets hurt because by either of them losing, because neither of them have enough momentum to lose anything by losing, which is upsetting because I think that Bobby Lashley has some pretty good potential as a bad guy, and Elias obviously has a ceiling of the sky as with his current act, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have the momentum to really lose too much momentum, which is kind of sad to say.
Yeah.
But I think they've been good. They've both performed pretty well on Raw, and I think I don't know. I don't think this rivalry stops at this match either, so I don't see it being very important at all. I feel like they'll both be in the Royal Rumble, and one of them will cost the other one. I'll say whoever wins this match is going to get screwed at the Royal Rumble. So I'll say it's a win.
Good pick. I agree on that.
So I'd say it's a win for whoever loses at this match.
I kind of agree with you on that. I feel like this isn't really an end of a feud between either of them. This kind of feels like just a little continuation of it,
Yeah, just the beginning of the feud. But the next match we want to talk about.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You say.
Well, I was going to say that I feel like both these guys too look like they, you always hear the generic story of he worked as a bouncer for years before finally making it. Both these guys kind of remind me of guys that would work as bouncers because they're just too big for their own good, and you're just wow, you are a large human being, and they're just hey man, you need to leave, and I'm yeah, you're right, I probably do, and so I just leave and because I really don't want to get my ass kicked by some dude who's at least 4 times bigger than me.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. So what I was going to say is, we got this beginning of this rivalry, and we got this one rivalry, which we're going to talk about next, that's gone on way too long, and I don't really understand how it's still a thing. Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, the turf war for the northern part of the United Kingdom is finally coming to an end, I feel like.
Hopefully.
And I feel like this is definitely where Drew McIntyre just puts Finn Balor to sleep and moves on to the Universal title picture at the Royal Rumble.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
What Finn Balor did last week on Raw makes me think that he's one of their top faces. I think Finn Balor's going to be a top face here coming up in WWE. I don't know what they're going to do with Seth and Dean going into Royal Rumble. And all I can think about is how they're going to set up the Royal Rumble. So I'm seeing Finn as potentially the biggest face. I'm assuming they're going to go Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a Royal Rumble match, and then I don't know if he wins it there, but they might also do it at WrestleMania, though. I mean, they could do it, both of them. They're very fond of doing that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It just really depends on the health of Braun Strowman, really.
I agree with you. I think a lot of it depends on him. I don't know that I hate this because I don't think he's ever going to win the Universal title, which pisses me off because he should have already won it once.
Yeah, he should have won when he was the hottest thing in the company 6 months ago, not 6 to 8 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
Over the summer,
he should have taken it off of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I'm just going to say it, but he didn't, and I'm still salty about it.
He was the hottest thing going over the summer. Everyone loved him, and then you just kind of... I don't know how you even fucked that up. They fucked it up hugely.
You gave him the Money in the Bank contract and then just took it away from him, basically. I hate that shit. I hate that so much.
You made a star. And then you just said, do we really want him to be a star? Not really. And you just finished him. I don't really understand how that's even possible. But hey.
Think about this. They gave him the Money in the Bank contract, and then they were like, okay, you're not even going to cash it in, really. You're just going to, get it a regular match with it, which is fine. And then you're going to, cost him, then you're going to have Brock Lesnar cost him the match by disqualification. What the fuck?
I don't even know what their plan was there at Money in the Bank now, thinking back on it. Was their plan to get Braun Strowman eventually to win the championship? Because if it was, they just completely messed it up. They completely floundered it. This was their plan. Maybe they're like, oh, you're going to beat Baron Corbin at TLC, and then you'll get your chance at Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble, and it's going to be great. Nothing's going to go wrong there. And it went all south. He lost all momentum, and everyone's just tired of it. He got hurt. Now he's having surgery. No one's that interested in Braun Strowman right now. And that's kind of how it's going. So anyway, let's transition into the Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, the general manager match. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be a TLC match, a tables, ladders, and chairs match, but it's kind of up in the air, obviously, depending on Braun Strowman's status, which, there's no way he's going to be cleared, right? There's no way. I just don't see it really happening.
I thought going in, once he got the surgery, I thought he was going to be really good to go. I was questioning it when they went to the surgery, and they said, oh, it's just a little bone spur thing. It's a really minor thing. And I kind of didn't think much about it. And then I thought about it later. And then they didn't even get the surgery done for a week after that. And I was like, yeah, he's probably in trouble. It's probably not going to happen. So, I don't know. I don't think the match is going to happen. I don't really know what they're going to do after that. But let's talk about it like it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. So Baron Corbin, if he wins, he gets the full-time general